LadyLucidity ASMR. Hello there, my lovelies, and welcome back to another craft video. Today I'm going to be using some silicone to make some adorable little jellyfish. So if you want to follow along at home, these are the materials that you're going to need. Some silicone, preferably clear, a jar or a cup of warm water, some food colouring, and some glue. I would recommend a glue gun for this one in particular. It just makes the process a lot easier on yourself. But I will show you step by step, so hopefully this makes sense once we start to get going. But for now, we're just going to need our silicone, our little mixing bowl. You're not going to need too much, so a little one will do. Your colour of choice and your warm water. Okay, so let's just pop our colour in first. So for this one I'm going with orange, and because it's a gel colour I only need a tiny drop. Okay, next we're going to need our silicone. Okay, so I'm going to try and give this a good squeeze out. This was particularly tough to get out. I would definitely recommend looking for a silicone glue in a dispenser rather than a silicone sealant. Much easier to get out, I think. But as long as it is silicone based glue that is water resistant, you should be fine. Okay, so I'm going to need a bit more than that. So let's try squeezing some more out. There we go. I'll just get this bit off here. Okay, so you're looking at roughly a teaspoon sized amount, or half a tablespoon I guess you could say. Then you're going to start mixing it with your colouring. Okay, so now I've mixed that in. It does look like I'm going to need a little bit more, I think, just to be happy. Not quite satisfied with that amount, so just give it another good squeeze. Go. It's very, very sticky at this stage, so you do have to be careful that it doesn't stick to your fingers too much. Okay. So now you can see it looks a little bit like chewing gum, and this is the important part. You're going to want to get your hands wet. Make sure you coat your hands in some warm water, and that will provide a barrier between your skin and the silicone. Okay, which means you can actually start to mould it, as you see here. If you feel that the silicone is sticking to your fingers, just keep adding a little bit of water to your hand, and it should be less sticky. Okay, so now I am just finding a suitable object to mould my jellyfish's head around. Okay, so looking for something that has a rounded top, so maybe a top of a water bottle or a cap or something like that, or even a rounded stone, that would work as well. Something that you can easily peel your silicone from, okay? Now, this does take a long time to dry, so I would advise leaving your silicone to dry overnight. This one I left about 4 to 5 hours and it just about stays together. So if you're going to make these for something in particular, I would advise doing them the night before. Okay, so I'm going to show you again. And this time I decided to take the end off of the tube. It made it so much easier to get the silicone out. Okay, and using the rest of the orange colour that I had in my tin, I'm just going to mix it around a little bit more. Okay, so just give it a good mix. Okay, I'm going to soak my hands, and this is why I have a plastic tablecloth. So it doesn't matter too much if there is spillage. Okay, so this one is going to be a lot bigger. So again, just keep wetting my fingers, kind of like if you're working with clay. And then I found this really cool lid to a squirty cream container, and I thought it would make a really interesting pattern maybe for the inside of my jellyfish head. So I'm just going to gently pat it, just pat, 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 pat. So while my silicone is drying, and you can see I've already used this tub today for this exact project. Now we're going to take our glue gun and we're going to make our little tentacles, little wibbly bits for our jellyfish. Okay, so I'm using the back of a plastic tub just because it's easier to peel off afterwards. You could use baking paper, that's also very good. It peels off glue very easily. Okay, so I'm trying my best to get varying lengths and thicknesses. It just looks a little bit like silly string at the moment. Okay. And I'm making them quite thick so that when I do peel them off they don't break. It does look like a very big mess right now, but I promise you once they're dry and peeled off they look a lot better. And also once they're dry, these little gold glue, I should say, glue strands that you can see are much easier to cut off and neaten up once it's dry. Okay, so just go crazy, do as many as you like. Okay, and I'm going to leave those to completely dry, and then I will peel them off and trim off all these little excess bits. So I'm going to pop that to one side until they are completely dry and then peel them off. Okay. So here we are. These are my almost dry silicone heads. This one I did with the clear silicone and I brushed some blue colouring through it just to give it a cool, like, swirly effect. Thought I would experiment with some colours. And here are the tentacles, and again you can obviously trim off the ends if you want to neaten them up. So I think I might just do that with this one. I might grab my scissors and just chop that little guy off here, because this is going to be the end that you're going to see. So just get that off there like that. Perfect. Now you're going to bring your trusty glue gun back in, and that neat little hole that we've made in the top you're going to fill with glue. So I'm just going to give it a good amount. Don't be shy. Make sure you put lots in there. Okay. And then you can start to put your tentacles in. So, okay. And this is where I like to mix and match all the different sizes. So, normally I start with the longest ones in the middle, and then as I work my way outwards, I will go to the smaller ones. Okay, so refill my glue gun. He's a very, very hungry little glue gun, this one, I'll say. He does tend to take eat my sticks very quickly, so I might have to invest in a larger one, I think, in the future. Okay. And again, any gaps you have, you can just fill with glue. Because it's clear, it pretty much blends in with the rest of your little octopus squid thing. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to make sure I leave each one to dry as well, so that they are solid. Again, just fill the hole up. Okay. And wiggle some more in. There we go. And another one. I think I'll give this little guy some extra long ones. Okay, and then fill that gap in the middle with some more glue. Okay. There we go. If you are planning to hang these up on like a string or a wire, I would say make sure you make a little pinhole in the top before you start gluing your tentacles on. So I would put your wire or string through the top and then glue on its tentacles afterwards. Makes it a lot easier. Okay, so here are some of my finished and dried ones. Unfortunately, the large orange one was still a little bit tacky at time of filming, so I'll put pictures of that one up at a later date. But these guys are super cute and quite simple to make. It's a little bit fiddly with the silicone glue, but like I said, if you make sure you've got some moisture on your hands first, you should be absolutely fine. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, let me know what you thought of it in the comments. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.